it's your girl Meesh. Welcome to another episode of Love Meesh, where I share my thoughts, opinions, and ramblings, and sometimes I'll have guests over, but no subject is off limits. It's a billion people in the world, and I'm one of them. So welcome to my world. Let the conversation begin. Hey loves, it's Misha back with another episode. Today I'm going to have a guest online on our series, and I'll let my guests introduce themselves.
Hey loves. It's Anthony Tony from Me and My Ex podcast.
Yes, you can reach him at Me and My Ex. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do, it's going to be on you, is tell everybody how we met each other.
Oh my gosh. Kind of kindred spirits, hippies at nature. We started following each other on Instagram, which I don't know how.
I know, right?
Whoever knows when they start following someone.
True.
But I think it's kindred spirits. I think it was the earth just calling us together.
Oh, I like that answer. I
Always.
love that answer. All right. So I do want to thank you so very much for joining me today so that I can add a new voice, new contact, and perspectives.
Yes.
And I always say that people often come across each other's paths, whether it's family or coworkers or strangers or friends. And if you pay attention, you can gain a friend or maybe a new family member or perhaps maybe a significant other. You never know. And then sometimes people can be a blessing, a lesson, and they come into your life for a reason or a season. So it's funny how your specific life choices, except for birth, can guide you into meeting different people. So I would truly like to say that I'm glad I met you. And I'm sure I've talked your head off before. So we're going to continue and put it on air this time.
Well, likewise.
All
I appreciate you having me.
So what's the topic today?
We definitely gonna follow the trends of everyone else and talk about the Nipsey Hussle movement. But this time we're not talking in the sense of his music. We're not talking in the sense of him. We're more so talking in the sense of what he left behind, the energy and the atmosphere right now, especially in this climate of Black-owned businesses, neighborhood empowerment, and healthy eating and living.
Choices. Absolutely.
I'm here for it.
So I didn't know Nipsey, probably like a lot of you. I just remember I know Lauren London from ATL, the movie.
No.
It's new, right? And so I saw pictures recently of her like with a horse and him. I still didn't know who he was, but I guess that was my first, that's Nipsey, for me to be able to remember who he was. And I kid you not, when this guy passed away, it touched me as if it was like a family member. I don't know why I was crying, why I felt like I should be crying for some people cry for celebrities. I'm not really one of them.
It's their energy. It's
like a
the
spiritual.
energy.
It really affected me. And then when somebody died, they bring up everything that they do and everything that he did for his community. Did you hear he bought like the corner lot that he used to sell on? Like, are you kidding me? And the guy didn't like them hanging around there, and now he's paying him rent and stuff. That's what we're supposed to do.
Now, what is dope, because I came across Nipsey literally about a year ago from this time, watching a Breakfast Club interview. Like, I've heard of him. I always say the dude that looked like Snoop Dogg. So I always saw him and heard a few things as far as music, but never really became a fan or really that much of interest in him as an artist until I saw him on the Breakfast Club interview, because I'm a big fan of interviews and talk radio, podcasts, the whole nine. So after listening to this guy, I realized that he's saying everything I've been saying for the longest about, neighborhood empowerment. Even after watching the 13th, talking about false imprisonment of a lot of blacks, the major disconnect that we have in our community as far as reinvesting and bringing it back around. So that's when I became a big fan of Nipsey Hussle.
All right.
And I want to read this post that I came across and I reposted. I don't even know if you liked it or not, but I posted it about a week or so ago. And someone posted, all of a sudden, y'all Nipsey fans. And then someone else comments, nah, we aren't fans. We're just human beings with empathy, mourning the loss of a good man who uplifted his community, via music, business, and a large heart. I agree.
Yes.
And I didn't ever say, by the way, you're an idiot. Which I thought was the best.
What I would do.
Yeah, because it's like, it's not.
It doesn't matter when you become a fan.
And you don't have to be a fan to see what someone is really doing and the movement they're making. That's why I said, I wanted to do the topic of the Nipsey Hussle movement because it's more so about, man, it's something I've been interested in for a while. Life. So I'm listening to the Killer Mikes, to the Jay Morrisons, to the Derek Grace. If y'all don't know who these guys are, look them up on Instagram. Those guys are really talking about black empowerment and us doing it together. Speaking of Jay Morrison in Atlanta, he's bringing back Black Wall Street and the Tulsa Realty thing, doing group funding, millions and millions of dollars to reinvest in the neighborhoods. I've been on that, and if you're in the Jacksonville area, strictly focusing on our black communities, we're gonna sit back and watch our old neighborhoods that we grew up in gain memories and get gentrified with people who don't know nothing about it, who wasn't there in the 90s and the 2000s, where white people wouldn't walk down those streets or come down there. So I was always on, let's get back into this. Let's go back there and buy back that. Forget trying to move to the south side when I get a little money. I'm trying to develop more
where it came from.
So I'm on that right now.
I love that.
And that's where I come around to, when I heard Nipsey talking, that's when I come around to, I gotta hear this guy more.
It's okay. So with that post, and you said you heard of him a year ago, and you've been following all these other people. Do you feel where that person's coming from? Like, now y'all are fans. That do you get where they're coming from? Like, you were in the trenches, and now it's a lot of people supporting you. Do you kind of get where they're coming from?
I don't, because I'm a big fan of no matter where you find me or where I find you, it's what we doing after that. Okay. Most people just want shock factors in their comments. Most people want to say that they were the pioneers. I've been knew about this. Now y'all getting on it. No, you was a fan of the music. We're a fan of the person, and I think a person is more than what their art is. If your art is that's you only, and after that is nothing. Yes, you're a fan. But me showing love and mourning and now I'm following his memes is everywhere.
I love it.
And now you're following his ideologies and his steps of how to get there. That's more than a fan. That's like family. That's like a leader. It's a difference.
I love that. That is like a leader. So I kind of get where they're coming from. I'm going to tell you why. So I went on this vegan journey. We can get back to Nipsey, but really quick, I went on the vegan journey, and I'm like telling all my family and friends, like, y'all need to switch. They're killing us. This, that, other, all the conspiracies I'm following. Everybody thinking I'm crazy, probably wanting to put me in the loony house. But look, 3 years later, guess who's sending me vegan recipes? And, I don't drink milk no more, and this, that, and the other. And it's like, roll my eyes out loud. I tried to tell y'all this how many years ago, and now y'all get it. And they're sending me the same articles that I was sending them, and it's almost like what do you do?
I've been on that. But it's funny, just to speak on that. I remember years ago, like, this is 2009, the baggy clothes, big jeans, triple XL shirts.
Right.
And I remember my first, I ain't gonna say my first, like I've been multiple married, but my ex-wife, she liked to see me in more fitting, more preppy style clothing. And I remember shopping that way and starting to get into that. And my whole family's like, oh man, the tight ass jeans, that tight ass shirt on. At one cookout, then the next week we have another cookout. They started to rock the same thing. So it's just like, you can't really be mad on when someone decides to change. That's kind of like we want to hold you for you was clowning me back in the days. Exactly. Now you want it. No, just embrace it. Just embrace it. Don't hate on them. Because they were hating on you at the beginning. Yes. So, don't hate on them.
Okay. So I'm sad that Nipsey died. I'm pretty sure there was a lot more that he wanted to do. But I honestly don't believe in death per se. I know your body decays, of course. But your spirit is then released. Energy does not die, it's transferred. I feel like he's able to do how much more now that he's out of the earth vessel?
I saw a couple
memes.
So
it's not going to stop.
It's
not going to stop.
It's funny that I was just listening to the interview and he was saying, he was doing an interview about Victory Lap album. That's the name of his album. and he was speaking on he wanted to do one more album before he leaves this label called The Spook Who Sat by the Door. And anybody who knows or read or even watched the movie about the spook who sat by the door is just pretty much someone who infiltrated something as a token black guy or whatever. That's what the movie and the book was about. It was this black Chicago gang member that was really clean cut back in the days, like in the 70s or something, how he infiltrated the CIA but used the knowledge he gained through the CIA to kind of put his people on to kind of you got to check it out. The Spook Who Sat by the Door. They even made a movie about it. And he said that was going to be his last thing he was going to do. And when I listen to that and I hear that, you know, it kind of gives me chills, because it's like you done gained all this knowledge by being something they want you to be, but you taking it back to the hood and now you spreading it.
That's what we're supposed to do.
And he was talking about cryptocurrency.
Yes,
he was talking about
bring it
just
back. Don't
everything.
leave. People literally get it and leave. They don't come back.
So that's why I say, you know, when you said his energy just moves, it's released now. And that's the same thing with Dr. CB.
Yes.
When he was out of here, now everybody's turning vegan. Everybody's out here.
I didn't find out about him after he passed, but it was like maybe 3 months later. I'm like, I just found this guy. And I remember he was in the bed. I think that's when the last couple, because he was in the bed doing the videos that I saw. And then I'm like, all of a sudden he's gone. But it's not just them. Anybody that touches Big Pharma, veganism, holistic doctors, natural remedies, white and black, it doesn't matter what color.
You're going against the major billionaire pharmaceutical companies whose this billions of dollars. You know how, and it was funny you say that, because going back to Nipsey Hussle and listening to this interview, and I wish you go back and listen to it. It was on the Breakfast Club.
I know.
It was a year ago.
Okay.
He was just speaking on how it's people getting killed for a few $100s, just like a gang member selling drugs in front of another drug dealer spot. Let's say a drug dealer selling drugs, you're gonna kill him because he's taking money away from you.
That's so sad.
So now think of it on $1 billion industry thing. Now you got Dr. CB who taking people away from this food that is making us sick. Where we go when we get sick? We gotta get these drugs and all this stuff that we think is fixing us. And I'm doing air quotes if y'all don't see it. So it's just it's the whole dynamics of these people are losing their lives, or I can't even say losing their lives. These people are taken away from us in a physical form because they're infiltrating the pharmaceutical companies or politicians or even these multi-billion and millionaire people who making money off our ignorance. So they get all
I'm so glad you said that.
So they're getting all the knowledge and bringing it back to us. And another person, you guys who want to start businesses and you guys who want to say, hey, I want to start something. Another great person to listen to. It's not a black guy. And I don't just sit here and listen to black people. I listen to people who give away the knowledge for free. Because you shouldn't sell the knowledge. Check out Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay.
Gary Vaynerchuk. He goes by Gary V. You can find him on all platforms of social media. He was one of the first guys to invest in what's the car service? Not Lyft. Uber. He was one of the first guys to jump into those type of things. He invested in the Facebook earlier. He's been pushing social media, and he's coming back to push the game. And one of his main things is he say the reason why he gives it out for free because he know 90% of you ain't gonna do shit with it.
Oh, that's horrible.
So no, that's perfect. He gives away all the information for free because he know 90% of the people listen to it, get motivated, but they're not gonna do nothing.
Oh my God.
And his motto is push everybody to get out here and do it. No, he want to give it to 100%, but he's he know he's not going to lose because he's still going to keep doing it, and he's know everyone get amped up and get charged up, but they're not going to do nothing. Just like with this Nipsey Hussle thing, a lot of people just going to post a few memes and go about their way, and when that news story come about, it's going to be different. So we got to take this energy and move forward, man. I've been on this same energy for some years, man. I've been on it, so. That's pretty much what it is, man. So,
oh my God!
Let me ask you some questions.
But I'm glad you said that. My people perish for lack of knowledge.
Right.
We can't really blame anybody. We have a computer in our hand.
All
a computer in our hand. Google.
We have $1 billion device
that
we only paid $1,000 for.
Exactly. Any question you ever have, you can find the answer.
Yeah, you can start a business.
Over and over.
We're doing a podcast.
A whole podcast. from my living room.
And I was just telling you, I went out and spent $400 on equipment to do, and spending how much I said an episode, $300 per episode to do podcasts, and it's going to do the same thing as a piece of equipment that we use daily.
The same thing.
And we're going to continue to.
Yeah, that's true. But researching it, whatever questions you have, just researching it and getting the knowledge for yourself. We shouldn't have to rely on Nipsey or Dr. Sebi or anyone else. But thankfully, these guys are researching and putting it out there. So once you bite onto it or grab onto it, take it further. Don't just let it sit dormant.
Of course.
And then there's people that are waiting on you to get that knowledge so that you can help them too.
That's the whole Gary Vaynerchuk. That's the whole Gary Vaynerchuk message, and I love that guy because he's raw and uncut, and a lot of people can't take it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people who get charged up, they do things about it, but then it dies out all over again. Yeah. So it's kind of like you keep preaching the same message, making the same money, because he's going to do it. He's going to get out there and make it happen. And
if you take it, you take it. If not, not. But you can never say he didn't try to help.
Course.
I like that. So his hands are clean.
They even said in the Bible, they're not going to listen to your warning, but just know that you told them.
Yeah.
You told them.
And be okay with that. But another legend, you guys. Another legend. But I'm glad the message is spreading and it'll wake more people up. And it's going to continue to happen. Didn't it start with Tupac? It's so great. It was like Tupac, Sebi. It's like normally big wave. Normally a celebrity died and it's like, okay, this was like a really big wave.
But it's funny, just spiritual even talking on a local level,
yeah.
That same weekend I heard about the Nipsey.
You're right.
It was a guy here. I think his name was Derek or D. Morehouse or something like that. That real estate guy.
Hartley. Mm-hmm.
You just hear all these stories that move you. And I can't lie. That day, I don't know. When that happened, I found out about that and that. For some reason, my energy dropped so low.
Yes.
But I know it's because for so long I was numb to hearing about a black man get killed, but now it's like I'm recharged again to like, man, we gotta make these changes. We gotta do these things differently. We gotta do a lot of things differently when it comes to, our people who are motivating us and doing different things. Like I heard good things about that guy, the real estate guy here in Jacksonville, when it comes to helping a lot of people get homes.
Yes,
and me and you had these conversations about.
That was gonna be my mentor.
Oh yeah, of course.
Who's next?
And me and you had. We sat down for hours and had conversations. I remember when we funny story. We went and hung out and just sat down just to chop it up. And man, it was we closed it. Yeah, we closed it.
And went to the car.
Just really having great conversations about things of empowerment. Right. Man. We just gotta have it. We gotta have it. So my question to you, and I know this story, but I don't know if you told your people.
Okay.
But your journey to switching from the mental of I'm gonna eat the way I want to eat, live the way I want to live, to now this person of I'm gonna do things different. I want to grow.
That is
Have you?
I did not. I'm glad you asked.
Here we
I'm
go.
so glad you asked.
See, this is why, and I told you this is why sometimes that
You're right.
face-to-face conversation it brings out.
So I've always loved everything bad. Fried foods. Sugar was my nemesis. Cheese galore. Always. I'm the child in the family that can like live off cereals and Pop-Tarts, like just literally junk food, TV dinners. So somehow, I wasn't really a big YouTuber, and I know that's been around for a lot, but somehow I'm on Instagram a lot. I started seeing little posts, like the posts I post now, like, watch What the Hell? I'm like, okay, let me go look at that. Mm-hmm. When I kid you not, when I looked at this documentary, my whole world changed. You mean to tell me that these government agencies are, and my mother has a daycare, and I see when the food lady comes to her home, she's telling them they need milk, juice, 2 of this, 2 of that. So it's almost like this is what a child needs to develop, when that's not really the truth. No mammal in the animal kingdom, including ourselves, drinks milk after they are a baby. So why are we as adults still consuming milk? Mm-hmm. Not only that, I saw another documentary called Cowspiracy. The poor cow doesn't even get to mate on her own.
Nope.
Period. Once she has the child, they rip it from her. The child goes into the baby calf goes into a cage, and it sits there for a few weeks to be served as veal meat. And I guess it's like very tender meat, very expensive.
Very expensive, yep. Your top
So that doesn't even get to live. And that's normally the boys, because they want to keep the girls for milk.
Right.
She gets, after she has a baby, just like women, they only lactate when they're pregnant. So there she goes, reproducing milk. There is a machine, and women who breastfeed, can you imagine? There's a machine on the cow that's milking it nonstop. Do you know there's blood and pulse that goes into that milk?
Yeah.
And they have to use bleach and other stuff to cleanse it, and then they're gonna put it in a container and serve it to you. Yeah, it looks white because they bleached it, but that's blood and pulse. And not only that, do you? And I'm an empathic, and I had to see it to feel it. I never really liked or to cook meat or touch meat as a child, so it was there. But to actually see what goes on in the farm and even the slaughterhouse. But getting back to the cow, so she's like that until she dies. Can you imagine just being on a machine night and day, milk for humans? I don't know. I'm almost sad to be a part of the human race. I really, really am. Like, if God created everything and then placed us here last, I feel like everything that he created was a gift to us.
Good.
It was a gift to us.
You know, it's funny. Just to kind of step into that little. I was listening to a Dr. CV interview, or it was kind of, he was teaching, and it just kind of touched bases on that. He was just speaking on. He was just speaking on us eating meat and how we're not created to eat meat.
And in the Bible, if you guys go look in Genesis, I wish I had the verse. It says, "And every fruit-bearing seed I give to you as meat." Who took that word meat and made it animal flesh? Because in the Bible, King James, meat was fruit. It came after fruit-bearing seed.
Right. And that's the point, On top of that, he made this statement about animals don't get sick.
The ones that eat our food, because now you got the dogs and the cats with
wild
cancer
animals.
and stuff.
No, I'm talking wild animals.
See,
wild animals don't need a doctor. Wild animals don't need anything. They live to be old as they're supposed to grow,
or the predator, right?
Of course. And the thing about it is, most animals eat fruits, berries, grass, grub.
That's right. There's the problem right there. It's right in
meat
front of our face.
Is the issue.
It's right in front of our face.
Is the issue.
And then a lot of, Christians, Bible thumpers, not to talk down, but they'll be like, and God said it was good, and he said it was good. And not to knock that, but the way, if you getting back to those documentaries, if you see how they have those animals lined up, there's no way any creator, whoever you want to believe in, whatever name you want to give it, there's no way that your creator is satisfied with how you are lining them up. Does that not remind you of slavery?
Of course.
And I don't know any African American or any race that was okay with what happened to them in their history. So right. why do we feel like it's okay for the animal kingdom?
You're absolutely
That's not
right. You're
We
absolutely
are losing our human touch.
But without even watching the documentaries,
right?
Anybody with a heart or anybody who watched what's the Faces of Death and stuff like that back in the days, these little videos they had were like showing chicken slaughterhouse or what they do to rabbits and things of that nature. Like, it shows this stuff. We had it around us for years.
Out of sight, out of mind. I hadn't ran across this stuff.
Of course.
Of course, it dies, right?
Of course.
It had to die for you to get it.
Of course.
But to see the lifespan of it, the poor animal.
Of course.
And I remember in high school, I read a book. You guys might want to look it up. It's called The Farm. And if you want to listen to it, it's on YouTube as audio. But the farm animals are talking in this book, and they revolt against the farmers and kick them out. I wish that the animals don't have nobody,
what's the little cartoon? Barnyard animals? That's what that sounds like. They don't
have anybody fighting for them. So, you guys, I want to join I think it's like vegan coalition where they go rescue. It's on YouTube, you guys. People will dress up in black for the animals. They will go into these barns and stuff and release the animals.
Really?
I said, Mom, would you? Because she don't believe in me going to jail or binding me out. But I was like, Mom, if I ever go to jail for this, she'll bind me out. She's like, well, okay. So she would take that. They literally would take. I think this one was like something with fur. and they were releasing it. And, you know, they do go to jail for this. And, you know.
Oh, yeah, the animal rights.
It's really a big thing.
You know what's funny? And a lot of people say, well, we need meat for proteins and everything.
I know, that's not true.
Let me tell you, one of the largest animals is the elephant.
Thank
one of
you.
the strongest animals is an elephant. And I haven't. Have you ever seen an elephant eat
exactly.
meat?
So it's not even a true statement. Gorilla. It's not true. And then it's like, well, who are you just saying what someone else said, or did you literally research this on your own? Because a lot of doctors and nurses know when you look at their plate in the cafeteria, they're eating very healthy. No, they always at the gym too.
What I love going into the Asian restaurants. Yeah. And you watch everybody get the chicken teriyaki, they get the honey chicken, the sweet and sour chicken, right. And you see the little old person or
with soup.
They sit there eat soup and rice.
You're right.
Yeah, that's all
You're
they
right.
ever eat.
You are so right.
Somebody send me or tag me in the video. You can find my personal page at @IAM_Anthony Tony. Listen, send me a picture of a Asian person eating General Tso's chicken or anything of that nature. I
would like to see that too. Wow.
You go in there, they're definitely eating soup, rice, and noodles. And they're one of the culture of, the ethnicity. Am I saying that right? I messed up. I batter words. Ethnicity of people who live to be clearly in their hundreds.
And they're very spiritual too.
A lot.
Very spiritual.
Because
I think they connect
what people
soul.
forget, and I was just looking at a post with Dr. Sebi, you know, it's important to sleep.
Yes.
It's very rare. I think I lived in Houston and I went to Chinatown. It's the only time I saw like Asian people out late at night. Go to Walmart late at night. Tell me when you seen an Asian person in Walmart late at night. And we known for going to 2 in the morning. 2, 3 in the morning.
Walmart.
And if you're not in like a major city like New York, Cali, you know, these major cities where they have their own community, you don't see Asian people after a certain time. Think about it. After a certain time of the evening, if it's a full adult, not a teen, not Americanized Asian, tell me when you see them out.
That is so true.
It's so important to sleep between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's the most important time to sleep. That's your body's healing time. They meditate, which I find to be awesome because that means to shut everything off. And I think, you know, disconnecting from the world and social media at times is definitely important.
Okay.
Yes,
like that.
Definitely. Well, you gotta.
Well, when I meditate, my mind is going. But I like how you say shut it down. So I need to focus on shutting it down. Like, okay, what you gonna eat for dinner?
Well, another important thing that I've learned recently, and it's for two benefits.
Okay.
I either put my phone in another area of the room, or I have a outlet where my iPhone connects on my kitchen cabinet.
Okay. I do. It sits up there at night. I got you. At the computer.
It helps you. Our mind is so connected to these phones that we don't realize it.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Even to the point where Samsung is smart. They want you on their device. They have these little lights at the top that tells you when you get a notification.
Yeah.
And it blinks. And it blinks. And it blinks. And it blinks. What happens when you're at work you don't forget? You see that? Oh, let me see who hit me up. Let me.
Oh my God.
Or your black screen lights up with a notification bar on it. Of course, we both have iPhones. And it lights up. It automatically makes you run to your phone.
You're right.
You know what somebody said, who did what. You know, it's funny. I was talking with someone, and I think I was just hanging out, going out to the beach. And I left my phone in the car. Like, you don't need your phone? I was like, nah. Like, well, what if my kids, your kids call you or whatever? Think about it. 15, 20 years ago,
you get in touch with them when you can.
That same emergency is going to be an emergency. Like, if I'm 35 minutes away from my kid and my kid called me and say, hey, I'm bleeding to death.
Yeah.
You think you're going to make it there in time enough? Like, I'm not saying, and I know a lot of people, you know, would disagree and be like, I need to have communication.
Exactly.
Communication,
really
that's fine, but
really
trust me,
okay.
I really want to try an experiment of leaving my phone home and like we did in the 90s. Because when you need me, You'll leave a message
That is so
on
true.
my phone
and
at
I'll
home.
return it when I return it.
I was just bragging about having the phone with the call ID on it back in the days. Like that was technology to us.
You,
but
right.
think about it. Back then, you can get so much done in a day.
You could. Ooh.
Or outside of that, I can't even see how people meet best friends these days.
You're right. Okay, I'm gonna piggyback on that. My little people, I always get my little cousins, nieces, nephews. They don't have friends. They do dance moves and stuff on those little apps, but that's about it. So I guess you could say followers, but like me and my best friends, we grew up together.
We done things together.
They don't have best friends like that.
Of course,
it's followers, which they take and communicate. But getting back onto us being connected to these phones, they don't. Who was that? Steve Jobs. I don't think he allowed his children to have iPhones, iPads. So what does that say? You're selling a product that your own children
it's
cannot
just,
utilize?
let me take it to the streets.
That's scary.
You know, a lot of us sold drugs. You gonna give your kid the drug?
Ooh.
You gonna let your kid hang around where you be at?
Shut up.
Let's say a bank robber. You gonna take your kids to the scene and
Wow.
And
put it in perspective.
Just to kind of go back on it, it's just certain things we have to get back to realizing and understanding.
I think it's taking our energy too.
Of course.
You could be, building up your medicine cabinet, learning different holistic techniques, but they got us looking at these shows and everything else, drama, negative. It's sucking away our energy. We got to refocus.
What comes in you, what you put in you, and what comes in you, it
that's your output. Your
it
input
floods
is your
back
output.
out you. You know, when you eat, eventually you have to go to the restroom.
Yes, that is
when you drink,
true.
you eventually have to go to the
That's
restroom.
True. In and out, input, output.
Me and my daughters just saged my house down
Oh
this
God,
day because my place. I've been living in my place now since February 1st. So
right.
just almost a month and a half. About a month and a half.
Okay.
Been having weird dreams constantly.
Okay.
Constantly.
Gotcha.
And my last place, I don't recall having any crazy dreams. I mean, constantly, almost every night I'm having a weird dream. And if I tell you some of the drems, you'd be like, like this is. And I feel like whoever was there before me was either men was really going through some things, or they were tormented in a way where it just bothered them. So I had to sage up the place. I had to get the place back to a spiritual space of peace. I had to play a little inspirational music, laugh and dance and smile with my children. So it's just those type of things that you want to try to do. Cleanse yourself. Whatever you put in you is going to go out. I don't care what it is. Whether it's food. People say, well, I love to survive off noodles. People love to say, I want some juice, or I don't drink water. That's one of my number one pet peeves. Someone who say, oh, drinking water is nasty, or I don't like drinking water. You have to cleanse yourself. All that sugar, it does something to you. And it's just one of those things that we tend to forget. We tend to forget that sugar is deadly. Sugar is a true cancer. It eats away at you. So it's just one of those things where whatever you put in you, it's going to come out.
Yes. You have to be. Speaking of water, I have to do better with water myself.
You have to.
And it's funny. Now I'm telling my siblings, eat right, this, that, other. Now they teaching me little stuff. But you can put lemon in your water, cucumber, mint, chia seeds. It's different things. Tea.
Definitely.
I only drink water and tea now, but the more water you drink, you're purifying.
Of course.
The toxins out, which is fair. And they're putting chemicals in the clouds now, so we definitely need to be purifying the toxins as much as we can.
We have to, man. We have to flush out our bodies. Yes. We definitely have to make sure we keep that going. But, one more question. I don't want to ask you 1,000 questions. Okay. But this is your show, man. So how do you like doing podcasts?
Oh my God. So I've been working at call center since about 16. So I definitely can talk. But being able to talk about my heart's desires versus a script an employer is giving me is so much better. just learning. I'm such a sharer, so on social media, I'm sharing what I learned, and now I'm able to talk about what I learned and read. Everybody's not on social media, so podcast has its own audience. So now I can reach people audience. Not only that, I'll be writing books soon, not really for profit, but just different avenues to get messages out. And now the podcast, I love the podcast. And let me tell you guys, I've been listening to podcasts.
I feel like I put you on
one.
Okay,
thank you. I'll give you that.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I will definitely give you that.
Matter of fact, I want to say the night that we sat and talked. We were talking at the restaurant, and it led to us sitting like, all right, the restaurant closed. We stood outside. It was kind of cold, and we said, I was like, man, let's do a podcast. Like, I want to say, so I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to take the credit for you.
You know what? I will, because you did mention you had a podcast, so I did, but I had no idea about Anchor, and I don't even know how Anchor came to me. But I've been listening to, I got an iPhone, so Apple Podcasts forever. Right. I always listen. I just started the Oprah. It's so many people. I'll give you guys a list. There's so many people that I listen to, and I never even put it in my mind. You know what I mean? Listening to them never. But Anchor, you and Anchor. So yeah, the two together, boom, there it goes. Because I don't know how Anchor came. Without Anchor, I wouldn't have been able to take it anywhere. So
and
thank you.
I knew about Anchor, and I knew about Gary Vaynerchuk. He's big in the tech world, and he pushes social media. Sell on social media. Use social media as your strength. That's your free advertisement.
It is.
That's your free promotion.
Oh my
That's
God.
your free business. Everything.
It is.
One more thing I like to say. I mean, it's a couple things, but this is super important. One thing Nipsey Hussle started that I think is super dope, and I never thought about it, and I've heard it, but I never thought about it. Coworker space. Are you familiar with that?
On Facebook. I have it, but I'm like, okay, I'm not really getting it.
So
I don't talk to my coworkers.
Let's say it like this. Well, actually, a coworker space or a co-work space is the concept of, I open up this building with cubicles or whatever, meeting rooms for small business owners who can't afford to have their own office.
That would be me.
Let's say you got a business and you need an office space, or you need just a little sectional because you can't do it at your house. People from different businesses work in the same space. And when you need to conduct meetings with your clients or whoever, you got a location to say, well, my business is located here.
Thank you. Okay.
Check into that. That's going to be one of my biggest things that I'm really trying to push for, is to create in that here.
Okay.
For people to be able to have their own business.
Now, I saw it on Facebook.
Okay.
So are they advertising it too?
I don't know.
Okay.
I heard it on the interview.
Okay.
And then I read more into what he's doing, and even on social media, like you said, we can learn and we can use this device in our hand for so many great things. And I follow the hashtag Dr. CB, and they talks a lot about Nipsey Hussle and his life in his shows. I saw it on that, and I watched the interview. It just pulled up on my screen from somewhere, and there was an interview of him explaining that to a reporter, and I would like to find it. But that's another good thing.
Look into that.
And supporting our
small business.
Walmart
won't be upset if you don't go there, or Target.
They won't even know.
Or Publix, yes.
They won't know. So let's really, as people, man, if we wanna get to a place of better empowerment in our neighborhoods, we really have to support each other.
That is so
and
true.
I spoke with you earlier of how it's a few people here in the city that I deal with them hard. Any information I can give them, anything I can help them with to move their business forward. And
I love that.
One of my favorite ones, she sell me desserts she meets up with me, and if you go on my website, you will see it. So
awesome.
Shout out to Shanice Tasty Donuts. All right. Shanice, big up to you, girl. And if you ever hear this, which I know you will, because I'm going to push this podcast in your ear. I push everybody. I push everything.
Awesome.
Shout out to her, man.
I really do.
And it's just us doing things outside.
We can't do it alone. You got to push each other.
And it's delicious on top of that. I'm sorry. I know you trying to get away from all the bad eating, but That's my Sunday getaway.
Hey, I understand.
But yeah, and since then she's put me on to a few other things. I had a cake lady who makes cakes. I know people who make apparel. I know people, and let's start wearing each other clothing.
Here.
We made most of these companies who they are through our music, through us spending all our money, whatever. I got on a pair of Jordans right now. If I knew somebody who came out, a black-owned guy, I wanted some Big Baller brand shoes because I wanted to support us and get to us growing those huge companies that now
homegrown.
Hopefully the person whose business it is that's black owned reinvest back into it. I kind of want to go buy some LeBrons because of what he's doing in the community.
I get what you're saying. Absolutely.
I want to try to, buy things that are black owned, but I would love for the person who runs the business to keep that with us. And I actually was talking with Shanice. I don't want to give away too much of my stuff because I have a lot going on that I'm about to really explode.
I was going to ask you, but I was like, nah.
Really going to have I want to kind of keep things low.
Yeah, I understand. You told me.
2019 is definitely going to be big, and going into 2020 with community empowerment, community growth. Bringing back the hood. And I don't mean like just bring it back where we gonna sell dope and ride 30s and all that through the hood, but really bringing it back to getting our money back to us. And I want to gentrify my own area.
Yes, and leaving a legacy behind for the next
generation. Teaching them.
They pass everything down. They meaning every other whatever.
Right.
They pass it down, and we what? We don't.
Nope.
Everybody starts over each generation.
Nope. That's why Chinatown is still Chinatown after 100 years.
Horrible.
That's why the Italian community. Well, that kind of what.
Mafia
but you can still, but you can understand that we can have our own good old boy system, and I don't care what nobody say. I'm for it.
Right.
I'm for it. Let's do for us. Let's practice all the stuff they practice. And when I say they, I just mean communities who stick by each other. The Jewish community. Let's practice that. Let's exclude some people for a moment and build us. I'm okay with that type of segregation while we just getting ourselves together. I am.
I got you.
And everybody's not with that, but I am. We come in collect. Everybody was on that big Wakanda wave. Well, let's get a real Wakanda. We can do that.
I'm glad you said that. And the wave came and went.
But everybody was on that, and everybody was like, oh, Wakanda or Zamunda, whichever one you want to go to.
Yep.
Let's build that for real.
That is so true.
Let's build that. Matter of fact, we can start out on a smaller scale in our own communities. Buy up this land.
That is so true.
I'm on COJ. I'm on property appraiser taxes. It's so much land sitting out here. We can buy a lot for less than $1,000. Buy it up. Sit on it, keep it maintenance, and then eventually build your houses on it, rent them out, sell them, whatever. But just let's keep that money flowing in a circle, man. Let's just keep it going in a circle in our communities. I can't wait to see the day where our community is filled with us. And when I say us, I mean working class citizens who really want to see the black community grow. And no shots to anybody else, because everybody else has their community.
You're right.
And when I say that, when I mention Ponte Vedra, you don't think black community.
Not at all.
When I mention Bay Meadows, you don't think that.
So true.
So I want Moncrief. When he say Moncrief, I don't want to be like, ooh, shoot, I ain't going over there. Lock them doors. Who moving over there?
So right.
When I say Palmdale, when I say Sherwood, when I say Sweetwater, whatever it is, Justina, I want us to be like, oh yeah, man, that's a thriving black community. Man, did you go to the coffee shop over there? I went to the coffee shop on the Riverside because it's cool and hipsterish.
Wow.
No, let's do that in our own area.
You are so right.
And I mean, we can talk about this for hours and days. And that's where I came up with the idea of let's do this topic on the Nipsey Hussle movement because it's just so much. And it's just the same thing I've been preaching and saying for forever. So let's get on it, man. I don't want to give away all my stuff. And one day I will.
Yes, it's coming.
When I have it well put together.
Exactly.
From the resource centers for parents to our own garden in our neighborhood where we don't have to buy produce from anyone else.
Absolutely.
and
I love it.
having markets where we have respectable chefs coming in teaching you how to prepare meals that are great for you and your family.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a vegan meal, you know, something that's better than what's being served, where it's affordable. People don't realize you can take a bell pepper, an onion, some lettuce, or any type of greenery, and make a full meal.
You can.
Because they be like, oh, this is disgusting. I need my fried chicken, I need my fried shrimp and all that.
That is crazy.
I can't wait for the day was young black women aren't making the spaghetti with shrimp and Roger Wood sausages in it.
I know. It's coming.
And cheese. But no, I'm just saying,
Oh,
that's what I'm fighting for.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's education. It's really the education behind it.
Definitely.
Because my grandmother, I feel like they were surviving.
Of course.
And then my mother, they were learning. So it's really us.
And we are the ones. Yes, this is our movement.
It's our time.
I was just having a conversation about that not too long ago. A couple of days ago about how our parents, where they were. Yeah. Like, they did their best. Exactly. My mom didn't teach me about credit.
Exactly.
I'm learning credit.
Right.
So I teach my daughters and my son.
Right.
I teach them at a young age.
Absolutely.
Now, I've tried something where I want to be able to allow my children to experience and explore things with my presence. You know, whether it's alcohol. Oh, I want to see what that tastes like. They see us doing it, and my daughter told me, and get mad at me or not if you want. I don't care who you are. My daughter came to me. Me and my daughter was talking, and she was like, when I see people drink, it just seems like they enjoy it, like it's a fruity drink. So, me being an adult, I have wine at the house, I have liquor at the house. I poured up some tequila, smell it. Not maybe, I don't even know how much, it's a pinch of it. She was like, oh, it don't smell bad. All right, now put it to your head and drink it. She said, oh, no, Dad, I'll never drink again. Because you have to understand. If you don't do it, they'll get around their friends. You'll get around their friends, and they... think about it. Dangerous Most situation. Of us who drink or have drunk, we know we hated that taste, but everybody was doing it. I believe in the minds of people when it comes to drinking and stuff like that. Everybody sat around and was like, "Oh, this shit is really nasty," but I don't want to look green. I don't want to be. So I'm gonna finish it off. So by the time you done drunk most of it, now you drunk, so you drinking more. And I just want them to understand that what looks good, and I just want them to experience life through me. You. And I want to be honest. I think this is the last thing I want to talk about, because you're going to have to have me back, and we're going to have to do this again. Y'all got to tell her. But seriously, it's so much I want to talk about, but I think I want to leave off more. So where we at with time? Because I know we getting there. You know, when I come around, we go, okay, we still got a little time. So you say you normally do yours for what, an hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
You guys, I'm knock that hour out the
But
box.
I agree with you. So everybody, all the babies call me Auntie Boo. So if you want to give an auntie a category, I would be like the party auntie. Like, your mama might not let you do this, but you can do a little bit with me. I'm still gonna be on your mama's side, but I'll give you a little freedom. So they do, like, I'll have my wine in there, and I'll wake up like, what's wrong with this wine? Y'all done had some, and they get to go giggling. It's good, it's good. So I get what you're saying about allowing them to experience with you, somebody that loves them and cares for them.
Not try to get them drunk.
And somebody that doesn't even know themselves.
Right. Not try to get your kids drunk. Exactly. I'm not promoting.
No, we're not.
Don't hotbox with your kid. I saw a video recently with the girl and her friend or whoever was smoking, and the little baby was in the back seat. They smoking weed and... It kills me. But I see it driving around the city. People in the car with the kids not in the seatbelt. They smoking and laughing and partying. Driving with the kids in the car. That's destroying your kids.
Kids are learning too. They learn.
That's destroying your kids. That's destroying your kids. But I think I was leading on to say we got to stop where our parents didn't stop at. And that's lying to our kids. Our parents thought they were protecting us by lying to us. Or play like there's something that playing like, oh, I never done this or I never done that. It's more so like we got to be honest with our children. We got to make sure we tell them. We have to make sure we tell them the truth about everything, and we have to make sure that we keep it to a point where we're not having our children trying to live up to an expectation that we didn't even live up to. And then when they feel like they disappointed us, they hide it from us, or on top of that, they do other things to try to make up for it, and they're just destroying them piece by piece, because now they feel like, oh, I disappointed my mom, so I ain't worth nothing.
That is so true.
Or I done disappointed my dad, and now he gonna look at me sad, so I'm gonna hide this.
Because of that bar.
Yeah, so we have to be 100% honest with our children.
And my mom, she just said that. She was like, you know, I grew up in a really big Christian family. She was like, the pastors didn't even know she was pregnant with me.
Yeah.
So that just, and they promoted to us, you know, save yourself for marriage. So that just goes to show. I'm 31. She just,
we have to be honest with each other. We cannot do that to our children. If you lying to your children, you acting like you lived this, because your children want to know that you made mistakes, not for the sake of mama did it so I can do it, but it's like, dang, mom or dad bounced back from that, so I guess I can. Absolutely. I'm not perfect.
Right.
Perfection is the worst drug ever.
Is it even real? I don't even think it's real.
It's not.
I always say I try to be a better person than I was yesterday.
Of course.
It's a daily battle.
Of course.
What you learn, you just try to do better. But perfection itself,
it's an illusion. You know?
Wow.
Everything is subjective. From love to looks.
That's true.
It's subjective.
That is really, really true.
Stop trying to live up to someone else's standard. I remember as a young guy in my family, if you bring a girl around that nobody else thinks attractive, she ugly. So now you dissing somebody who could be your heart, who could be the best thing. Or
for somebody else.
Or it's like, you only like this type of girl. You only like big girl. Everybody make jokes and fun about it. But it puts us in the mindset of, I need to find this. I need to have this where everybody will accept it. And that's the beginning of you accepting yourself, period. Because you begin to try to live up to what everybody else wants you to do.
That is so true. It's not everybody else's life. Sure.
And that's what's killing us, you know. So, all in all, man, I think for the most part, we have to be honest. We have to be fair to each other. We have to treat each other right. We have to eat better. Please, black people, let's eat better.
That's life.
Come on, let's eat better.
That is life.
It is.
Life
it
is.
Death. And, you know, I'm hearing so many stories of young people who are in their 30s going through stuff people in their 60s going through.
Cutting lifespan in half.
And it's from sugar to...
It is sugar. Everything else. Chemicals, the pesticides that they're putting on the produce to keep, you know, the insects away, which...
Styrofoam plates.
You're right.
And come
Plastic.
on.
Oh, my God. You are so...
It's just destroying us, but you know, I ain't come here to get all that deep. I was coming here to clown.
But the more you know, it's just like, I don't know if you almost wish you were asleep, but you pay attention to everything now.
Of course.
You can't just, you know, eat a burger without knowing what that does. Or, you know what I mean? Like, everything that you do from that point with the knowledge, it's like, ugh.
Of course. Of course.
It makes you not want to make that choice.
And you know what's funny? I stopped eating McDonald's. And was
the first thing before I even thought about being vegan. They said it was human meat.
Really?
Human meat.
Ew.
I don't even want, how. My mind can't even... Where you getting human? Okay, so what are we doing? Human meat?
Oh, so we eating corpse
now.
So we gonna eat bodies. But I just...
Oh, my God.
And even people like myself who haven't crossed over fully into the vegan lifestyle or anything like that, you know, it's better to be more mindful of what you do, where you go, where you eat, what you drink. The number one thing people can start is cut out the sugar.
Yes.
Drink more
water.
The
first thing. That's the first
number
thing.
one.
But we addicted. Sugar is like crack. Sugar is like crack.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course
they need you got to detox.
You have to.
It's in everything. Did you know sugar's in spaghetti sauce?
I know sugar is in everything.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Sugar cuts down the acids in the tomato.
Okay.
But guess what?
It seems like it's in everything.
If you're the type of person been drinking Kool-Aid all your life, the moment you drink something that's real tangy or bitter, which is actually really good for you, tangy and bitter foods, you be like, I can't eat this.
Grapefruit, limes, you're right. You are so
right.
Just
so nasty.
Like I said, lemons in the water, mango.
It's acids
grapefruit.
and bitter food that breaks down stuff in your body.
That's what it's supposed to do. You are so right. Okay, so that's another point. eating is not just picking up something and cooking. It's a science behind it. There's a pH level and everything. Your body, the food, water. And we don't know the science. It's not let me eat that because it tastes good. It's not about your tongue. What does my kidney need? What do my liver need? What does my blood need? Minerals, vitamins. It's a science. And they didn't teach us that.
You know what's funny? Maybe about... what year was this? 2013, 2014. I did this detox, a major detox, 20-day detox. I did the D-herb one, which was pretty decent. It was actually pretty good, but it was extremely hard. It was 20 days. But prior to that, I did the 10-day smoothie challenge.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
But it's kind of hard because back then, no one was really talking about sugars.
Okay.
So, of course, your smoothie is going to be much sweeter and this, that, and third. And it's going to have a lot of stuff. You just trying to throw something together, trying to make sure you get your smoothie going. So, I did the 10-day smoothie challenge and immediately jumped onto the D-herb challenge.
That's good. Okay. A transition.
What we don't realize, 90% of the detox challenges or the companies that does the detox, they come with instructions on how to do a detox. But people don't realize you can do a detox without doing a detox.
Okay.
In those detox, it says don't eat any cooked food.
Okay.
No meats.
Wow.
No gravies, no sauces. You're eating raw vegetables.
I see. Okay.
What
That's
happens
the
when you just eat raw vegetables?
Okay.
But the thing is, they just give you herbal pills that hits onto different major organs. The D-herbs is a full major organ.
Okay.
And then at the end, you drink your charcoal water or whatever, which has its own benefits.
Yes.
But it's just pretty much, you can do a detox without doing a detox. Just stop eating sugar.
Right.
No white anything. No bleached anything. Raw vegetables. Water.
Awesome. There you go. Thank you so much.
That's it.
I'm ready to do my fast. I'm going to go research it now. I'm ready for a fast.
So
awesome.
But I appreciate it.
Thank
like I said,
you.
man, it's been definitely fun. You know, I know you were
so
a little nervous. How you more nervous than I am?
I'm not nervous. I talk to people all the time. I'm not nervous, but I don't normally have an audience. That's
look at that.
But y'all were good.
Give us a hand clap for this episode.
Woo!
Give us a hand clap for this episode.
Y'all.
All right.
So we have to end it somewhere, or we'll just keep talking all night. So again, I do want to thank you so very much for coming on the podcast, and we hope you enjoyed our conversation. And I guess that's all.
Let me get my social media out one more time.
One more time.
Please follow me, man. I'm going to get back to my podcast.
Yes, I can't wait.
It's called Me and My Ex Podcast. Now, it started originally with one of my exes, and we were just talking to everything. Oh, man. I don't know how I come up with these podcast names and titles, but it was just a cool little thing. It's grabby.
Yes, I love it.
And also, I'm going to get on my Instagram live and I'm gonna add you on and we're gonna have conversations. We're gonna do one on Me and My Ex Podcast, then we probably do one on my regular podcast.
Awesome.
Y'all follow me, man. It's me and the letter N. So it looked like Men My Ex Podcast, but it's Me and My Ex Podcast. One word. Follow it. I post a little something. I've been slacking. I gotta tighten up. But we're gonna do a live on it. And man, support black businesses, support black podcasts, support your black self, support your black neighborhood, man. Let's get it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Peace.
And this concludes today's conversation. Thanks a million for listening. You can reach me on other social media platforms at www.linktr.ee/LUV.MEESH www.linktree/love.niche. I hope you have a better than great day. Love you. Talk to you later. Mwah. Bye. I just finished the episode with Anthony as the guest, and I have to say we have to have him back on the show. That was very refreshing from how I prejudged that podcast to go. So anyway, I'm really excited. I loved it. Hope to have him back. Hope that I'm on a segment with him as well. And just to give y'all a little behind the scenes,
my sister and I were having a sister date one day, and we were in Walmart checking out, minding our own business, and some man walks from 3 aisles in the checkout lane down to the cooler that have the drinks and stuff, and it just happened to be the cooler right next to us. And I said, nah, all these coolers in here, you just had to come over here and get a drink out of this one. And we all just died laughing about that. I was just messing with him, didn't know him, never seen him before. And you know, once we got back home, she was like, oh, we follow each other on social media.